Most businesses waste time and miss out on the ability to scale because they overlook 5 critical steps systemizing what they are currently doing and should be installed into every single business. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact steps that I use with my clients who do anywhere from 5k per month up to 150k a month without having to hire another team member, and it's going to make you more profitable as well. The first one is the systems scorecard. If you don't know what's wrong, how are you going to actually fix it? I created a 5-minute quiz to actually score your systems. And I do this with every single client that I take on board. And if you want to take it, I've left the link down below for you to do it right here today. By filling this out, you're going to fit under a few categories. And depending on where you are is actually dependent on what we do next. So this is why it's so important to start with. If you're in something like survival mode, you shouldn't then be focused on the things that the foundation builder is going to be focusing on. I mean, what's the actual point of trying to scale your company and build your business systems up when you don't have any of the foundations in place? What we basically want to get to here is the clone CEO. Now, this is probably unrealistic for most businesses, as at the end of the day, entrepreneurs are usually quite ambitious and you're probably the same. So we're never really going to get to that point unless you just have robots run everything, but it's a good thing to aim for to actually grow our business. First step is knowing the problem. If we know the problem, everything becomes easier from this point on. The second step is going to be about mapping our journey. Now that you know where you're going wrong, you might be thinking, okay, let's get straight to fixing all of them. But that's not actually the case. Actually should be mapping your full client journey. Because the thing is, if you don't know how you deliver, how are you going to know where to improve? How are you going to be able to pass that on to team members to do it effectively? And how are you going to find the bottlenecks inside of your current delivery that's not allowing you to get your time back and focus more on the bigger picture things? And don't give me the crap about knowing it all in your head. If that's the case, you're getting drop kicked anyway. We're here to scale the business, not to stow away everything inside your mind and hoping that it works. Inside of this map in your journey, you want to lay this out in a few ways. And again, I do this potentially differently to some other people. If you're splitting it into really simple breakdowns of categories, it would be before the sale, the onboarding, the delivery, and then the offboarding / upsell if you're doing that. Obviously, it can get a little bit more complicated if you're wanting to really dive into it, but the more that you put in here, the better you're going to become moving forward. If you want to start with something, then genuinely just think about how you would take someone if they came in as a lead to when they left you as a client and try to understand every single part of that. Leave no stone unturned and just write it all down. You'll already be ahead of the curve by doing so. The third one is the breakdown. Now, not like Fortnite breakdown, but the actual breakdown. This is where we start to sort all the crap that's happening in your business. This is where we'll be looking further into the scorecard. So what parts in particular are working in the business and what's really not? What's the most manual work that we're currently doing, and can we either delegate it, automate it, or actually remove it completely if it's not benefiting the business that much? And where is the biggest chance of our clients fly kicking us if things go wrong in particular areas? That's going to give us the place where we're actually finding there's the highest chance of error and something that we need to make sure is nailed down first. These are going to be the areas that we focus on to begin with, the ones that have those sort of red flags against them. And as you're going through it, you can either put like a red tag or a red sticky note or whatever you're using to actually choose, okay, this is where the problems are really going to come from, which in turn is going to help us scale even further for where we're wanting to go. So the fourth step is a scorecard. Now, this isn't the most automatic ChatGPT AI thing we've ever seen in our lives, but this is from a guy called Ryan Deese. He runs a company called Scalable. I've iterated it a little bit to fit the way that I like it to run. This is just purely so I have a little bit more information, but this scorecard is simply just a breakdown of the most important things that you need to track in your business. For some companies, that's going to be something like the close rate. For others, it could be social media posts. For others, it could be leads that are coming in. There's a multitude of things that you can track on here. But as long as you put what is moving the needle forward for your business and you track that every single week, you're going to be able to start to realize what you're maybe not doing so much of and what you should probably put more focus onto. If it's the case that you're consistently hitting your targets, it's not to say that's a bad thing because we kind of want to hit our targets, but it is to say that we probably want to find a way of improving that, or maybe there's another thing we should be looking at as a little bit more of a focus to move that business forward. If you're crushing it right now and absolutely killing it, by all means, stick to that. If that's the revenue you're tracking or the profit that you're bringing in, fantastic. But I can almost guarantee you there'll be areas that you're slacking or areas you don't have expertise in that you should be tracking and actually face. And listen, it's quite scary to face the really tough stuff in your business and to see where things aren't going so well, but it's going to be really important. If you want to make this successful, Just choose things that will truly move the needle, and therefore you're going to be able to see a genuine picture of how you move this to the next level. A small step each week I've saw move businesses tenfold. There was actually a client I'd worked with that near enough doubled their revenue in 2 months with working with me, just because they actually tracked the stuff that they were trying to do. By the way, just a reminder, if you're wanting to get started on that, go fill out the scorecard that I mentioned at the start, the first link in the description. So you'll be able to take that and get an email right away, basically saying which category you fit under. The final step that we're going to cover is the reviewer. Sometimes when you're solo or you have some employees in your business, it can be really difficult to actually confide in them in all the things that you're looking to work towards. You know, you're the visionary, you're the person moving the needle, you're the one trying to rally the troops and get everyone going, but sometimes we actually need someone else to help us look at that bigger picture. This is why we install the reviewer, and it's something that can really benefit every entrepreneur at any stage. What I'm going to recommend you doing after every meeting, every work on the business time that you do, anything that you've took a lot of notes down for, put it into some sort of GPT, some sort of area that can hold all of that knowledge in one space. AI is only as good as the information that you give it. So the more that we give it about you and how you work and how you function and how you talk and how you actually think about things, the better it's going to become at understanding where it could potentially help and where you might be missing gaps. There's some fantastic prompts that you can use to basically get it to be really brutally honest with you. And it's such a great way to actually have a little second helper without having to pay anyone to actually help you do that. Starting from this isn't going to make your business run without you and isn't going to become the greatest business known to man. But what it is going to do is it's going to unlock so many areas for you in the future to actually use AI to your advantage. So things like organizing your emails and tasks, your sprints that you're doing with your company, helping with your vision and clarity, your content, auto summarizing notes that you're doing. And it could also be your best friend in the future if you don't have many friends. I hope you have more than that. These 5 steps should be in every single business. And if you're watching this and they're currently not, just take the first step. Do something about it. Understand where the business might not be exceeding your expectations right now, and just start to understand where you see the problems. A lot you can do right now to push your business to the next level and make more money, but you're not doing it because you think you need to hire and bring in more people. You don't have to spend more money. You just have to spend more time making your business more solid than what it is right now. That's why if you watch this video on the screen, you're going to learn even more about how you can systemize your business and start scaling your company.